Representative Phelps says he might be close to the 71 veto proof for the concealed carry. Any concern with that?
Well, he and I disagree on this issue. He's a very good friend of mine. I was with him just the other day fighting the flood, so we don't agree on this particular issue, but I hope he doesn't have 71 votes and that our side is able to win this.
Any new concerns for security given bin Laden's death?
Yes, we talked about that the other day in Cairo. I was with John Munkin. We have to be always on our toes, but especially now, there may be those in this world who want to do us harm and retaliation. I hope that's not the case, but we're not taking anything for granted. We have, I think, a very good Homeland Security team in Illinois. I've been very impressed by their professionalism, and they're doing their job.
Any indication of any particular problem at this time or heightened alert?
No, there's no heightened alert, and I think if our people do their job, I've seen firsthand how they've done the job with respect to fighting the worst flood in the history of Southern Illinois. They know what they're doing, and it's really impressive to see so many men and women of good faith, of high character, who know how to get the job done, working together. That's Illinois at its best, and we'll make sure we always protect the public safety. That's our highest calling.
A couple more, guys. Governor, can you explain to me what your workers' comp proposal has that Senator McCarter's, which just failed, did not?
Well, I think his probably was a little one-sided, and ours is a little more balanced. And what I did today is we laid out all the elements of that. There's fairness, professionalism. We want to make sure we save money on medical fees. We want to make sure the insurance companies are really using electronic billing in a way that saves money. So we have a comprehensive approach. I think ours is a little broader and balanced than the one that didn't get enough votes.
Can you explain how it was one-sided?
You mean the system?
No, the McCarter bill. How was, you said it was one-sided. How
well, I
so?
think that a lot of the elements that we have with respect to making sure the arbitrators are people who are licensed and professional and have term limits and make sure they're neutral. Those are things that are very, very important.
But there seems to be a broad agreement on those kind of things. It's when you get into the nitty-gritty where it kind of falls apart.
Well, I think our proposal will, when all is said and done, be one that passes, and his didn't.
Who will be the sponsor when you actually put this in language into a bill?
Well, we're working with several members of the House and Senate. We'll leave it up to them who wants to be the sponsor. I think there's a lot of interest by members of really both houses and both parties. I think there's a pretty widespread agreement that workers' compensation reform, this is the year to do it, and we'll do it in a way that's meaningful.
Governor, you mentioned international trade a bit and you wanting to do more outputs from Illinois. That was part of your budget plan, actually, some consolidation or elimination of some foreign trade offices. Where is that? How many are you looking to close? Can you give any details there?
Well, we're going to have I think a 21st century system of showing Illinois goods and services to the world. We probably aren't going to use exactly the old approach. That's still in transit, the whole international trade office. We have to understand that a great way to grow jobs right here in our own backyard of Illinois is exports of our goods and services to the whole world. For example, Caterpillar had a very, very good first quarter, a robust quarter, and 70% of all of their machines that they make in Illinois are exported to the world. And part of my job as governor is when we have a foreign visitor, a dignitary, president of a country or something like that, when they come, we want to make sure they know about Illinois companies and how good they are and open up those markets. So I've really worked with business on that, and our farmers are doing quite well. We want to make sure we can get into the fields as soon as they dry out a little bit because Illinois agriculture is really second to none in the whole world. We're really a very strong agricultural state. We can not only maintain jobs, but grow a lot of jobs here.
What about this education reform plan? There was one that passed the Senate with a lot of heralding, but it appears as if there might be some changes in the House. Are you going to be part of that to try and get that through? How important and crucial is that?
Right after the election, we put everybody together. We believe in dialogue, not kicking the other person in the shins. That's a Wisconsin approach doesn't work, in my opinion. I think it's much better to have everybody at the table, negotiating, having conversations, and we did that in the Senate.
Are you encouraging the House to not make any changes?
No. I'm saluting Senator Lightfoot, who did such a good job in the Senate. And that approach, that'll be used in the House. There may be some, additions or whatever, but I don't think they're going to be in any way reduce the substance of the bill or the heart of the bill, the spirit of the bill, which is to reform schools and education in Illinois so students get a good education. We don't want any state out educating Illinois. And I learned just the other day that Secretary of Education Arnie Duncan specifically praised our state for its proposed reforms when he was speaking in North Carolina. So we really have to do this and do it well.
Do you think the House will try to scalp the teachers then?
No, I don't think so. I think everybody understands. Don't forget, teachers are indispensable to learning, and we don't want to be running our teachers down. We want to make sure we have accountable teachers who really do a great job for their students, and I really believe that's the heart of education.
So there won't be further efforts to restrict their strike ability then?
No, I think that everything that's in there has been negotiated and everybody signed off on it, and that's a good way to go.
As the man who's responsible for starting CUB, what are your thoughts on this legislation ComEd is trying to pass? I know it's not finalized yet, but is this a good idea to do, or is that something that'll hurt consumers?
Well, I believe in the Illinois Commerce Commission. It's been around for more than 100 years. You have to have oversight of utilities. Same way we need oversight of oil companies. I really think CUB, Citizen Utility Board, not only has to keep track of the utility companies, I like to see them given the duty of watching over the oil companies and these gas prices. So I'm not really interested in diluting the power of the Illinois Commerce Commission when it comes to utilities. CUB is there to present evidence and fight for everyday people, and I think we need to maintain that kind of approach for consumers.
Are you set on vetoing concealed carry, no matter what?
Well, I have a position. I campaigned on it. People know where I stood, and I, in my conscience, feel that it would harm public safety. I went to Northern Illinois University on the first anniversary of the killing of those 5 students. I went to each of their funerals, and I know firsthand how harmful that can be if someone has a concealed, loaded weapon on their private person in a public place, whether it's a school or whether it's a shopping, a grocery store. What if you bump into somebody at the grocery store, and your cart hits them and they lose their temper, and next thing you know, they're pulling a gun on you. I don't think that's a very good thing for Illinois or our state. I already said yesterday I'm not for the bill, and so if it should happen to pass, I hope it doesn't, I won't sign it. Okay?
Great, thanks, guys.